Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Redundancy back again. Now, hopefully my sound's good. Hopefully my sound's good. Was just doing a quick mic check, making sure I didn't get anything. So it should be good. My intro should be fairly well for what it is. So leave me a 1 on the screen if the volume's good, sounds good. 2 if it could be better, or you can't hear me. Should be able to. No, I think it should be good. So while I wait for that, you might hear a back echo because I have the preview thing on. Oh, it's lagging. Hopefully not lagging. Hopefully it's not buffering either. Well, my volume's good. My preview on the YouTube set not give me the sound. I can't tell. I'm not listening to my own screen. So hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully. I think so. I still don't even hear myself. I have my volume up all the way too. Yeah. So anyone gonna give me some feedback here? Should be good. I just tried this like a second ago. How come it's not doing its thing? Well, I'm hoping. I guess I'm just gonna have to assume. I guess I'm just gonna have to assume. Yeah, I knew I should have ran a tester beforehand. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Redundancy. Or it's hopefully my sound's good. Hopefully my sound's good. Okay. All right. I guess my sound was good this whole time. I just had to wait for my live to catch up to what I was talking about. So hopefully this will turn out well. So welcome back, everyone. It's Creative Redundancy back again, also known as, you know who? The one known as CR. So I want to welcome everyone to this, well, fairly special live stream for me. Reconnect with some of you out there, the planet people. And this will contain both preparedness and, well, prepping talk. That's why I put up that thumbnail. So hopefully it's all good. Hopefully it's all good. I think it is. Here. I hear an echo. Yeah. Okay, I can hear myself on the preview side, on the YouTube side. So yes, I will be talking about a little bit more preparedness stuff, and I will be sharing some things or ideas or stories. And remember, as oral change, need to be ready to and adapt when possible. I'm no expert or guru in the topic, but CR is learning more and doing more, gaining that EXP, that experience. So it's more than just about gear, the physical things that you can use, but the mind, body, and spirit. I guess that too. Let me turn my volume down here. And boom, CR's in the house. With harmonica apparently too, as you can tell. So remember, which means be more proactive and less reactive. I ran the backpack right here. I kind of did this. Okay, look like CR is hovering in the air in front of me with a clip. Something really simple. I mean, it is braid. I guess I could use it like a reflector. It does have some couple of binder clips. Well, let me just pop up my side chat here while I wait for some people to drop in here. I know this is impromptu and stuff, and I need to double check one. Yeah, okay, it's on public. I remember this one time I set up a stream without realizing that I unlisted it because I reused the settings. So yeah, good thing to always keep in mind. Let me scroll down here. So yes, I'm gonna be sharing some stuff here as time goes in and as the time goes on the stream. So lately around here, personally, it's been, I mean, a little bit more rain would be nice. Getting plenty of sun. I mean, recently there has been some rain. At least enough to, well, gather more rainwater. However much there is. I'm trying to improve on that. Because, well, water is the elixir of life. Water, what does water do for us? Everyone always talks about what fire can do. What can water do for us, right? Feeds the crops, right? Well, I should say water, well, hydrates the crops, hydrates us. Energy too. Hydropower, tidal power, right? With the tides that go like this and the machinery that goes like that compresses something that you know, all that jazz. You can dig into that and all that stuff. Wow, I guess I'm ready because Prepboard's in the house. Hello, how are you doing? What else? What else does water do? Well, it cools things down. I mean, it's a considered a universal solvent. It washes the dishes. It rinses stuff, right? If you're not using hand sanitizer, you're just using soap and water, H2O. So I figure I put that in there. Oh, let's see what else. What else can it do? I mean, like energy, create power, water the crops, hydrate us, hydrate our pets, the animals, and all life out there. All life per se needs water. At least some form of it. At least here on the planet, right? At least as far as we know in terms of all this stuff. Hello, Go Fish Office employee man. Is it? Probably because I'm running too much. I think I need to tone this back. Sorry, I just have the preview on. It's hard to tell about the audio sometimes. So I do appreciate the constructive feedback, the feedback from everyone. You guys gotta give me that because I am not listening to the stream. I have music playing, so I can actually get motivated for this and all that stuff. So keep me informed. Figure I'd write that in there. What else is water good for? For your fish tank. I just had to float that one in. I mean, even swimming. exercise like that, right? What else? Water is also needed when to wash your trunk, your vehicle, hose it down, wash your lawnmower off from all the debris that if you use one. I mean, I still have this big container right here. Yeah. And these guys here. Still have this. I still haven't filled it up. Not that show quite too much, but get the point. I mean, a lot of things that water is used for. And right now, some places have like maybe a drop, metaphorically speaking. Well, hey, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Let me just run my preview here. You might hear an echo in the back. Oh, see, what else? What else? What else? Yeah, see. Yes. Anyone want to finance that? That'd be nice. I could wear a headset, but I don't want to wear a headset. Yes. Yes, exactly. Water is good for fishing too. I mean, dissolving. Make your coffee, right? Speak of coffee. And I have some of my coffee right here too. I slightly altered the settings from the last time that I went on live or did a call or anything. So I'm not sure why it's doing that. I might have to adjust this here. So keep me informed about the audio. Because I don't think it's because I'm lagging. I should have enough data bandwidth. Oh, that reminds me. What else is water useful? Canoeing, boating, right? Because no one canoes or boats on like dry land, per se, right? I mean, water dilutes things, rinses things. Water's your garden, like a good segue in there for Gardner Josh right there. What is up, man? How are you doing? Yes, exactly. Good for the fish too. For them and the wildlife, well, the sea life in general, right? Hey, there's so much that water does for us here. Because, like I said, everyone always talks about, oh, fire does this. No one ever really talks about what water can do. I mean, I guess some of us do take it for granted. Comes out of the tap. We can get a bottle of it. Access to water filters and all that stuff. I always remember, because I see these videos from time to time, there are places in the world where water is not, it's either there, but awfully way too much and flooded out, or very, very, very small amount. Well, okay, good enough. As long as you can hear me, I'll just project a lot more. Maybe I won't move. It's probably because I'm buffering. Yeah, it's probably because I'm buffering. Yeah. And the warnings on the stream aren't giving me too much hassle. I am live streaming, so it is what it is. Right? And just hear me out, right? Share that information, what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm no expert in this. I'm just learning, doing. So I gained some more EXP than experience. Oh, I almost forgot just looking at some articles of clothing here. I'm like, water is also good for like cleaning your clothes, right? Right? Washboard or something like that, hanging up to dry and all that stuff. So water right there, the liquid, the elixir of life. And besides, sometimes food tastes better when it's not dehydrated. For example, look like this apple that I have right here. Which will give me a segue into the food part. Yes, apple right here. I wouldn't say it's per se organic, but it is from a local area tree. So this didn't come from like 5 hours away. At most, maybe an hour. At most. Locally grown. That's nice. I've actually had some of this. Because I've been there's a story right here. I've been gifted these apples. They're like, hey, CR, yeah. And I was just over just saying hi or whatever. And they're like, CR, what's up? Hey, do you want some apples, CR? I'm like, what? When? They're like, oh, yeah, the next day. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, I'll drop by. They gave me it in a reusable bag, too. So, that's good, too. That's good. Use those reusable bags. I just have to put this down somewhere. No, let's put it over here. Trying to make sure my apple doesn't fall. I'll probably eat it during the stream. See, I'm learning. Just in case I talk about food so much that I get hungry, I brought some food. See, I'm learning. See, for anyone that doesn't know, yeah. Just saying. All right. Bathing, I should say, showering and all that stuff. Yeah. Well, all that water stuff. Yeah. I'll just let that flow as I flow in a pun right there. All right, might as well make it exciting too, right? So I want to, like I said, I do have a poll on the live stream right now. It's pinned to the top, and I will actually take a look right here. So right now, out of 5 votes, I got 20%, 60%, and well, I guess no one's new. I guess that's a good sign. I guess that's a good sign, but maybe. Yeah, because I don't have subscriber only mode on, so anyone can put something in the chat. Say. I want to minimize this. Oh, whatever. I'm trying to minimize that poll so I can see more of the chat. Do I have to pop this out or something? Oh, maybe I have to pop it out. Okay, there we go. Okay, yes, that's important too. Yes. Right, no one wants to break the pool or the bathtub or a hot water tank or break your water. Sorry, that was bad. Forget what I said. I retract that. I retract that. I'm just kidding. But I mean, of course, water can cool you down too, right? It's middle of summer. It's summertime here in the Northern Hemisphere. A lot of people are experiencing warmer temperatures, hotter temperatures under, per se, under a dome, whatever. Heat waves, droughts, all that stuff. Water's a really big thing. So make sure you have some of it on hand, just in case. Just in case that nothing coming at the tap. Source it out in your own area, wherever you are. All right. I know some of you will have filled up a bathtub in advance, something like that. Buckets, rain catchment. Speak of rain catchment, there is one thing I want to get. What's that called? IBC? Is it called IBC? Yeah, IBC toll. But basically, it's supposed to be like a 250 gallon capacity. I have seen one. One of my friends actually has one. I've seen it before because when I was out there at their place, they were filling it up because of things and stuff like that. But useful to have 250 gallons, right? Now you buy you some more time, buffer zone as I call it, and all that stuff, right? Okay. It's probably because it's probably because I'm loading it too much. Now I have to. I'm actually not. I'm not gonna keep the. Well, I need to see my CPU usage. Okay. Sorry, I had to take that more proactive and less reactive off. I'll put it back on. I'll put it back on. I might have to alter my bit rate on this. But I can't do it right now because I'm running long life. So it's all good. So let me see here. What else? Oh yeah, so yeah, food, right? What? Carbs, fats, proteins, vitamins and minerals. I mean, they would really sum it up into like 5 quick things. You know, something that might be grown, like this apple here, maybe even on your own tree in your own neighborhood, from friends or family members that you have, right? How many people do you know that have apple trees that actually can grow not crab apples, but apples like these? All right? Do you take advantage of that? And harvest that? You know, bake something with it. Like Goldfish Office likes to bake stuff and cook. Do you make like applesauce with stuff like this? Dehydrated apple crumble, apple crisp, an apple pie, an apple turnover. Yeah, and all that stuff. Oh yeah, exactly. And we got water in our bodies too, right? In our blood, in our cells, in between our cells, and all that stuff. I mean, even I almost forgot. Water is even needed for digestion. That's this kind of in between fight between the food. Water is needed for digesting. Okay, remember not to digest the plants. Digestion. Fats and proteins take a little bit more water to digest. You know, to make that stomach acid and all that stuff, the enzymes and stuff like that. See, what else? I mean, oh yeah, so the food part. All right, grow it if you can. All right, try to source it out well. You know, maybe have it local if you can, when possible. You know, and consider the options like dry stuff beyond the rice and beans if you can. All right, you know, maybe it's some sort of pasta, dried seasonings, dried herbs. Let's see what else. Canning. I mean, there's like canning videos out there. I am not at that point yet for canning. However, I have made, per se, applesauce before, so like, and I'm in a jar too, right? So it's just been a while since I've done that. So I'm trying. Even me, like I said, I'm no expert at this. I'm just learning and doing it, right? That's one of those things. Next step, right? You know, I never relate this. You can have all the gear in the world. I can have, you know, this whole wall could be filled with food, but the thing is, that might give you a buffer zone. But the thing is it sustainable? And who are you without that stuff? All right, who are you without that stuff? Because you're still gonna have to rely on these to do stuff. and your feet can move around. You can have all that stuff in the world, freeze dry, mountain house, whatever you want to call it, that kind of stuff, all on your walls. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if you haven't even tried to do it yourself, let's just say, and do it yourself. Let's say harvest something, harvest some apples, grow some tomatoes, grow some lettuce. All right, I mean, yeah. Hey BK, what's up, man? Oh yeah, yeah. That's a good thing to keep in mind too. As I soak the stream more with my puns. But come on, you knew that was coming. You know what? I gotta throw a pun in there somewhere, right? As serious as this discussion and talk is, I gotta kind of diffuse it with a little humor in there. So every so often you'll hear me just pun it out. Why not, right? But yeah, I know. Haley, I. So before I get into something, I do have a poll up on the top of your chat window or chat screen right now. You can tell, right? You could be more specific in the comments if you want to, or on the replay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's okay. I forget to check if I have replay for the chat. It's okay. It's okay, BK. It's okay. It's okay. Invest in a good water filter. Yeah. That kind of stuff, right? No. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with buying bottled water. However, remember that you may run out of that, per se, clean water and have to source it out for yourself and stuff like that because of whatever's going on, whether it be flooding or drought or some sort of storm or whatever. It does happen. So, I mean, here's another example right here of a story. I mean, like, where I've gone out camping. I haven't shown any camping videos, although I've hinted on them. And some of you out there have seen sneak peeks on it, pictures and video that I have shot in the past. And I remember this one time. Was it the last time? No, I don't think it was the last time. It was like the time before. It's probably like 2018 or whatever. I remember we were getting. It was like nice sunny day, like today. Afternoon thunder showers, afternoon showers and stuff like that. So I took the time in a bucket, in a pail. It's probably a 5-gallon bucket. I don't know. Using the tarp that I was using anyways to gather some rainwater. And you're probably like, "Hey, CR, didn't you just bring water?" Yeah, I actually brought water, but I washed my socks with that rainwater because the socks I used the day before. And you're probably like, "Oh, okay." And I just kind of added like 1 drop of soap, boom, and just added it in, quick rinse, knead it in my hand and stuff like that, just to freshen up the socks, just in case if I had to change back into them, at least I know they're more clean. And besides, I was using the rainwater that was just passing by, and then using the sunlight that came back afterwards. I was just like, yay! String a ridge line across, hanging up, use some binder clip, and everyone's like, "Sierra, what are you doing?" They're like, "Sierra, are you washing your socks?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, we're out here. Why? Well, I'm not gonna use nice drinkable water when I don't need to, and when I got some nice, fairly good rainwater, I can just use and just, using what nature offers at times, considering it like that." So there's the story right there for everyone. Yeah. That too, prep work. That too. Yeah, that too. Oh, okay. You stick with that, BK. You stick with that. Yeah. Did I just make a pun in there? I think I did. I have to go get something in a little sec. I actually have it charging outside in the sun, which will make a quick guest appearance on this stream. Since I'm talking about a lot of more prepping stuff and preparedness stuff and being ready to go, right? Being ready to go, and I almost cannot stress that enough. I have seen so many of the videos out there, and I not only seen the videos, I've actually talked to people before in the past that had to leave evac out because of wildfires. It is very, very apparent this year, at least a lot more. I mean, when you start talking to people that lost their home and like literally left with the back clothes on their back and in a vehicle, and you're trying to help them out at a relief center, yeah, you realize what's really important. I mean, I still remember that time. I actually helped shuttle, well, I wouldn't say deliver, but move, transport within the facility, like, how many packs of bottle of water? I'm like, you know, that human chain kind of thing, like sandbags and just back and forth. It's just like, I did that. It was funny. I was done only do that for like 2 hours, but then it almost became fun. I'm like, it almost became fun, and I found the motivation for it too. Like you said, I started to talk to these people and just like, you know, it just kind of reinforced why I was there, why I did that in the first place. And on the bright side of things, I ran into a couple friends and a friend that I haven't seen for like 10 years. So on the bright side of things, and not only that, I got to see the building and kind of get my feet wet, metaphorically speaking, with a pun in there about it, and understand why, you know, sometimes one person can help more people than one can think. Just reading what you guys are saying, like I said, I will be sharing some stories here. And that is one story I haven't really shared much about. So you guys are hearing this story. Yeah. Prep for it. I was trying to make it so it wasn't like I could have did a number of things, but I'm just like, yeah, you know. And everyone's at their own level of experience, skill level, and knowledge right now at their own level. Do what you can with what funds you have and stuff like that. You know, if you can't buy stuff, and oh hey, my friend's got a bunch of apples. Well, hey, that's a start, right? That's a start. Maybe make some jam out of that. Try to preserve it so it can last a little bit longer. Well, goldfish, I was thinking the same thing. So what else do I have to say here? Oh yeah, about being ready to go. I was watching something. It's just a video like where it came from. Could have been a news organization, but regardless, it doesn't really matter. One of the key things in there was, don't quote me on it, I'm not quoting it, I'm paraphrasing it a little, but, you know, saying, you gotta be ready to go at a moment's notice. Alright? We can all shelter in place as long as we want, but there is times, and there will be times where external forces will force your hand to evacuate out. Unfortunately. For the most part, it's gonna be like something like fire. all right, or something similar to that. You gotta be ready for this. You gotta be ready for it, all right? I I know some of you, some people out there that live. I have a friend that lives in California. I've, I know people that live out in BC right now, British Columbia right now, too, right? My thoughts always go out to them because I know what is going down, both with the heat, water, and all that stuff. So I try to keep tabs on them. At least say hi. At least say hi. See how things are going and stuff like that. Make sure they're relatively good to go. As, as the best that they can be, right? You know, I'm not saying, you know, for everyone that doesn't know. Wait, I'm pretty sure everyone knows this. Because I'm pretty sure it should be like almost like, unless you've been like away from stuff for the last like year and a half, right? You know, about TP stuff and stuff like that, right? You know, I mean, I'm still good on that. I was almost debating on bringing enough out to like, but yeah, it's not a big deal. You'll have to take my word for it. Because preparedness is more than just TP. Priorities. Priorities, okay? Priorities. You know? I remember talking to my friend for a little bit and just like, I'm just like, we're just talking and stuff like that. It was last year. I'm like, I went to my friend. I'm like, did we just talk? Did you just talk about a bidet for the last 15 minutes? I'm like, and they're like, oh, sorry, CR. Were you talking about that for 15 minutes? I'm like, yeah, it's all good. Thanks, Goldfish. I appreciate the encouraging words with a CR in it. So yeah, be ready to go. So coming back to this food part, I'm not actually gonna show the contents. You'll have to take my word for it. I do have. I mean, this is just something simple. You can scale this up to like, I don't know, let's say a suitcase with wheels on it, maybe a spare backpack, spare gym bag, duffel bag, draw time bag, reusable bag, plastic bag if you really want, but you know, something that you can put a little bit extra stuff in here. All right, I'm not go too much detail into this, but let's say I do have a few things in here. Which just happens to include coffee. Well, actually, it's a 3-in-1 kind of coffee. It's kind of stiff. What's up, Archangel in the house? What's up, man? But yeah, and the thing is, I'm trying to how do I say? You know, cycle through this stuff, right? Like I'm looking at the expiration date of this. This doesn't expire till like or best before 2023 January. So I got a year and a half on this. So I can keep it in here. If I don't use it within the year and a half, I'll use it in the beginning of 2023 if I haven't used this already. This is just one of those 3-in-1 kind of mixes and stuff like that. And I do actually have more coffee in here. Just some stuff in here. Nothing major. I mean, this bag's not that big. And stuff like that. So it's something I've been working on. Listening into some people out there. Yes, I am listening to you. You know who, if you're watching this right now, you know who you are. Because I always say listening in your comment section all the time. But just stuff like that. I mean, like, I got some nuts in here and stuff like that. I got some nuts in here. They're good till the beginning of next year, so I'll use them over the winter or something like that. And a few other things here and there. I mean, this is just something I just put together real quick. It sits outside. It sits with my bag, so if I gotta grab this, at least at least I'll get some energy, some energy from this. Maybe it's not a lot. It's not a lot. I admit that. I know. I mean, it's not that big. This is like the size of something that you put your lunch in, like a lunch bag or something like that. It's not that big. And for fun, I'll just put it. No, I'm not gonna put it. So let me see the bowl right here real quick. So let's see, 43, 14, 43, and 0. Okay. Got 7 votes in there. Yeah. And like I said, it says right for anyone that's not paying attention or whatever. It says rate your readiness. I think I spelled that right? Or preparedness, which includes the gear, skills, knowledge, and experience. All of it. All right. Like I said, you can have all the stuff in the world, but you're gonna know how to use it. You can have all the food in the world, but do you know how to grow it or reproduce it? You can have, you can have all the bicycles in the world, the cars in the world, but do you know how to fix them, maintain them? So you're not just per se surviving, you're thriving, and it becomes kind of more sustainable. Yes, I'm not using the word sustainable in there because I think that's something I've been making up a lot more too. Such as, for people that couldn't buy paper towel last year, maybe even this year, what I say is, go cut up a 100% cotton shirt and use rags, right? Hey, Gary. Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to drop in. I appreciate it. What was I going to say here? Yeah, I remember that. I did derail myself with some flying squirrel in the distance. What was I going to say here? Yeah, I mean, I can give more kind of examples or metaphors out there, understand how to use this stuff, whatever it is, right? At least try it at least once. If not once, and if not once, at least twice, right? I mean, if not twice, at least once. That's what I should say. Whatever it is. A tent. I mean, I put up a tent. It's kind of fun, actually. It's kind of fun. And only when you break poles or, that little thing that goes in between the poles, the line, you pull that out. That's a little bit annoying. Although I did figure out if you use something like fishing line to help you pull it through, or some sort of very thin line or string, mason line, hard bank line, and stuff like that. I'm not trying to. I'm gonna avoid trying to use the white frozen rain word, as I call it. What? Let me just check here. I didn't think I was going that long already. I don't know. It's only been 45 minutes. Well, you'd be surprised how people don't think they do, but they do, even to a certain degree. Right? Whatever it is. Right? Okay. What I was gonna say was, you know, oh yeah, going out to go use this stuff, right? Maybe just go out and just use it. I mean, like even the tent, like I was saying, like you can have all the tents in the world, but have you even set one up, right? Tent, sunshade, type of stuff like that. Ones with canopies and stuff like that, you know. I mean, I had to go help someone set one up and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun actually, and you start to learn about it too, which is a good thing through experience. So it's just like the next time around, you get more proficient at it instead of taking like 15 minutes. It only takes you like half that time, for example. You know, the time's arbitrary. It doesn't really matter, but you know, you just get quicker at it. You just know what you're doing, kind of deal. Okay, it's corner to corner, blah blah blah. Set up, wait it out, and all that stuff. Find where the door is and stuff like that. You know, and try it out. You know, I kind of miss. I do miss setting up my tent this year. I know. I'm crying over that. I do miss doing that. It is kind of fun. Yes, yes. Well, you don't have to wait for that for it. Correct. And okay. I'll let that. That's good. Yeah, shortages out there. I mean, like, get some intel, right? You know, there is weaknesses or links in the supply chain that can be disrupted. Yeah, disrupted or broken or interrupted and stuff like that. So you'll get a delay, whatever it is. All right, whatever it is. You know. Maybe, Gray. Maybe. Could be a few people out there that could agree on that one. So I'm not really per se doing that as much as I used to. I've had some, don't get me wrong. I'm kind of lean back on it a little bit. Right. I have a couple of those travel size kind of things. I mean, what's that called? The terminology of it, right? Shot of it, a couple shots worth of it, right? Like in shot glass or whatever. There's slang talk for that stuff too. What else is there? Oh yeah, the tents, right? I was gonna get into the shelter aspect of it too. All right, just having stuff ready to go. When I mean shelter stuff, I also mean stuff like cover and clothing and things to actually help you out, depending on the situation, stuff like that. A little bit than just more than just what lately has been called personal protective equipment, PPE. I'm talking about more than just that and that, right? I'm talking about other stuff too that could be useful. Which hold on, let me go get that sample. Okay, never mind. It's too far in without me reaching. But stuff like a helmet. I mean, I know there is places out in the world that it is part of the thing that they have as part of the preparedness part is a helmet. Could be useful, right? Could be useful. I mean, flying debris, falling debris, and stuff like that. That could be useful, especially one that's rated for X amount of impact force and stuff like that. Could help. Could help. Instead of getting knocked out, you only need to get a slight headache. right? You know, I'm protecting the mind. Yeah, that too, BK. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, practice them whenever you can. All right. So hopefully, in the real situation, when you're up the creek without a paddle in a jam, you can rely on the experience a little bit more because you've done it, at least to a certain degree. So you know you're not trying something new right off in a stressful situation, trying something new, right? It's just like, you know, and not only that, per se, if you have stuff on you that you use, you know it's good to go. And I'll give an example here, and this is quite a good example, is a tent. Back to the shelter thing, right? Making sure that your shelter, tent that you bring out camping, you know, or whatever, is good to go, right? You know, making sure you have the right poles with it, the right tarp with it, the right cordage with it, the right tanks with it, and stuff like that. So it's ready to go. I've seen some examples where it's like they brought the wrong fly for it or whatever. Well, that's not as big of a deal, but I have seen someone bring the wrong poles before. Or they mixed it up with someone else's, which luckily enough they were there with them too, so that wasn't so bad. It was two people, but they mixed the poles. Luckily they both came, or else it would have been a little bit more tricky. You would have to improvise, and sometimes you can't improvise everything at times, just because the way it is. Water, right? Speak water. Cheers to my planet people out there, MCR. If you're having coffee, whatever, some sort of juice, water, you know, H2O, right? Hydrate out regardless. Especially if it's gonna be warm out. Let me just see the time. Okay. So yeah, water filtration right there. I guess I'll get back into the water part. I'll dive back into the water part, flow back into my plants again, and all that stuff. Right. I'm not done filter that out. So here's something I have right here. I have shown this again, and decided to bring this out. I'm gonna go else segue into something else later, probably. But just a little pouch I made. I've shown this before. Reused the materials. Reuse the materials for this 100% cotton bandana that I have right here. You know, cotton bandana. This could be extended up or sized up to a shirt, 100% cotton shirt, a cotton smog, and like what 3 feet wide and stuff like that. I don't have one. I don't have one, but I do have other stuff because obviously it's winter time here. It gets cold here, so I have scarves too. So I think that's why I don't have a schmuck. But you know, I've used this stuff before. I wouldn't say I've actually filtered water with this, although it's possible. At least the pre-filter, right? Pre-filtering. You're only removing the big stuff. You're not removing the biological contamination or the chemical contamination and stuff like that. You'll probably still have to boil it. You'll probably still have to whatever, but this could at least extend the life on your, per se, real filter. Get the sediment out and stuff like that. Especially if you start layering this and running it through again and stuff like that. Okay. multi-use kind of item. You know, it is considered one of the 10 C's. Yeah, in date category, yeah, and stuff like that. Useful for a lot of things. One of my outings, I used not this specific one, but I used one to keep my neck cool. Using that thing that I was talking about earlier called water. Oh, I mean H2O. Stuff like that. Very useful. Very useful. You know, if you don't got a bandana, right? Just have a large version from a T-shirt. Something like that. You know, that's a way of doing it too for people that are getting into this preparedness stuff or whatever. Because I do know there's a lot of communities out there, right? So that's a way of doing it without per se buying something. Or you can get a 100% T-shirt. Like, let's say you get an extra large T-shirt, 100% cotton. Yeah, you could be used instead of getting a bandana. You get a shirt like that, or maybe you already have one. You know, that's still in good shape. You know, if it has decals on it, you know, you might go around so you don't have the decals. So it's 100% per se material, 100% cotton material, not any decals or logos or anything like that. Just so you can use it for everything and stuff like that. And it's a good way to reuse something. So if you're into that, you know, eco minimalism, zero waste, the environmental side of things for a community. And it's a good way of going about that. I mean, I got bandanas, don't get me wrong, but I've also realized, you know, not everyone has bandanas. So I have to rely on clothing or forms of shelter to make it. Because not everyone can access a bandana, unfortunately. I mean, some of them out there are non-cotton either, so. Which also, you know, can't do other things and stuff like that. It doesn't hold water as well as a cotton does and stuff like that. Hey, I have that kind of stuff. I mean, I have a bag right here next to me too. Yeah. There's another one right here. And you're probably wondering, what's that gray thing around here? It is actually, I'll cover it up. See? That's actually the collar part from a 100% T-shirt. So I did reuse that part of it. So as I take it, as you can see here, I reused that. So basically, it's not just, it's multifunctional. So I got this nice bandana here, and then I have, well, line around, something tied around it to keep it in place and stuff like that. And it's multifunctional. So something I have. So I'm not wasting everything. Or per se always buying new. Unfortunately, I only have so much, you know, cha-ching and, you know, that kind of stuff all the time. So I gotta make do with what I got. And this is why I'm the one that creates. And that's why. That's why the channel was named like this in the first place. That was my whole reasoning. In a nutshell, I've explained it before in the past on some tag videos and stuff like that. So some other things here that I do have to talk about is let's see here. I mean, I've talked about the food, a little bit of food, a little bit of water, a little bit of shelter. You know, those are important things. What else is there? Yeah, shelter. So, water. Need shelter. Stay out of the elements. Stay out of the heat. Get above flood water too, right? I mean, finding shelter and stuff like that. You know, many people are getting displaced right now. You know, luckily it's not any of us in the chat right now, me, people I know, but things can change. Things can change. Or maybe in the future you move into a more remote area or an area that's more likely to be prone for something like this, where it would be smart, intelligent, more proactive, less reactive, more less in hindsight, more in forethought of it, to have something ready in advance. I'm not just talking about bag, possibly. Here's my really small bag right here. Here's my really small bag right here. I'm talking about maybe a little bit more substantial, with some food and some water, and some other things that can help you in a jam, depending on the situation, stuff like that, depending on what you plan for. Honestly, food and water is probably gonna be in there somehow, right? Sorry, I just had to check on stuff. But I do appreciate everyone taking the time to drop in right now. I appreciate it. All you coming through, new or old, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I'll show this too. Coming back to that water thing. I know I'm jumping back into this water thing. Because another one of the 10 C's is survivability. Dave Canterbury. It's basically a method of kind of making it easy to remember anyways. Because the items have already existed. It's just a nice, more simplistic layout, which is letters. Using the same letter in, alliteration. But anyways, containers and stuff like that. I still actually have this. I still have this. I don't actually use it. Technically, I could. I haven't tried this out as much as I could like. So it's a container. This is the gift. I keep it in this bag, just in case. I'm not saying I'm not heavily rely on it, because usually I'll bring my mug, water bottle, metal water bottle and stuff like that. Especially if I'm planning it, right? If I'm just going out with this little bag, it's probably nearby, nothing major. I know it's not supposed to be raining. It's not that cold, not that hot, and stuff like that. But still, I still have stuff nearby per se. I can dip into if absolutely necessary, just in case. More forethought, less in hindsight, less reactive and more proactive, just like that. Which I'll put back on the screen. Which I'm not temporarily takes off the CR on mode. That's probably what's driving my usage up. And let's just randomly put this bag back on the screen. See? Like magic. I automatically just put it there, and I'm just going to randomly bring that word into the screen again. So people that know that, yeah, I just use that word again. Now I'm not, give me 1 second. I'm just going to go grab this real quick because I know it's sitting outside. Alright. Sorry about that slight delay. I just had to go get it here. And thank you very much, Goldfish. I appreciate it. I got something else there too. They're useful item. Useful item. They can't turn it on because also I'm not playing music or anything like that. I need broadcast. So. And you can get these. It's not that expensive, although depends how much you want to spend and stuff like that. There's more elaborate. Radio right here. I'm not gonna show the brand. It's gonna have AM, FM. This one has weather band and USB out. It's wind up. Wind up. You can see USB in, USB out, charging cable. I wish it actually used a different kind of charging port, to be honest. I can get this one right here, the middle right there. But it's an older connection, USB type of connection. I was just charging it up in the sun. It's got an antenna on it and stuff like that. Actually, it's kind of funny. I was charging this up. I'm like, oh hey, the antenna, I can use it to angle it more towards the sun by propping it up. I was just like, oh, life hack right there. And obviously get better reception and stuff like that. And also, it's gonna have a light. Speak of light, if you like what you see, well, thumbs up would be appreciated too, as I enlighten you. But like I said, I'm no expert. Just doing it and learning by doing. I can have all the gear in the world, but if I don't know how to use it, it's not gonna help too much, right? And besides, gear works better with skills, knowledge, and experience backing it up. Alright? So, and it's got the kinetic wind up part, as you can hear, stuff like that. But I should also mention, if you're gonna use this stuff, like try this stuff out, test out the solar with your devices, right? See how long it actually takes, like your smartphone, your mobile, your smartphone. See how long it takes to go from XYZ% to add 1% in, and how much time that takes. And especially considering if you have bright sunlight. Because winding it up winding power into the device actually takes quite a bit of energy, quite a bit of time. And you have to, I'm not gonna bore you guys with this whining about winding things up, but I'm just saying. Hello, Vanessa Kitty. Chili, what is up? Appreciate both of you taking the time to drop in on my preparedness type of chat. No panel, just me talking about this. Sharing a few things, a few items here and there. Like this wind up radio, alright? And I was just saying about the solar part of it, and testing that out, making sure that works. And another thing is, remember, you'll see right here, this is the battery compartment. These do take batteries, right? It does take, although a rechargeable battery. I don't like that saying, oh, I don't need to replace the batteries. Well, more like you don't have to replace the battery anytime soon. There will be a time where this internal probably lithium-ion type of rechargeable battery will cease to work because they only have so many recharge cycles, or how many times you can recharge it and stuff like that before it's kaput. It just, I mean, it's the same way with phones or other devices, so not much different. So I'm just gonna say that. A little rant, but sometimes I don't like when people say, "Oh, I don't need to replace the batteries." Well, you don't need to replace the batteries anytime soon. And I was just saying, in another video, another subscriber that I'm subscribed to, they were talking about batteries and power and stuff like that. How many people actually have recharge spare batteries that they can dip into just in case XYZ situation or whatever, right? Recharge for their phone. That's smart. Who has spare batteries for their phone? I know not every brand supports it, but or for their radios and stuff like that. How many people actually have spare batteries for their radios? Like this one right here. I'm not talking about like a radio that you might have seen when you were younger and stuff like that that uses this or that, or something else that takes batteries that you put a headphone in, stuff like that. Aaron's just checking up on something here. So what else is there? What else is there? I guess I covered food, shelter, lighting. Yeah, well, lighting. Well, I guess I'll stick to that part of it too, right? Lighting, right? I guess eventually it gets dark, right? Right now it's summertime, so we're getting like, 12 and 12, right? But eventually it like come back to, that air season, right? So eventually you'll need lighting and of course heat later on, and obviously keeping cool in the summer. That doesn't necessarily mean AC. This could be a basement or somewhere you can go, or something like a fan and stuff like that. Some sort of fan that you're running or whatever. Because I will share another story here for people that are paying attention and listening right now, and have caught me to this spot on the replay. Let's see if I can put them. Put an emoji up on the screen. Really. So you can get plugged into into the chat right here. No. See how I did that? Yeah. Just to charge you guys up, get you guys excited for it. But earlier this year, well, I shouldn't say even this year. It's like what? Last month? Yeah, it's August. So last month, it was like beginning of last month. It's been like 5 weeks or so. Power outages. I actually had one here. It was, like I'm pretty sure I've said this, but luckily enough, it was after per se dinner or supper time, but before dark, and it did not last that long. The window was very, very small. I was all good. I was just like, well, I got something like this light right here. All right. Some solar garden lights and stuff like that. I'm hoping in time to get some sort of more larger type of setup for power. Something like a generator or well, I guess a big solar array and stuff like that. That'd be nice. With a battery, with something to bank that power. And as you can tell, from time to time, mean, it does get sunny here and stuff like that. I just haven't, I came close one time, but due to other priorities, I put that one off. But I was just talking to people, right? And I kind of hide. I wouldn't say hide, but kind of per se metaphorically mask things in terms of what I do to some, and I just say, camping, although not quite. Similar, but not quite. But I just realized how many people actually do not have these mobile battery banks, power blocks. I mean, basically, lithium ion type of batteries, rechargeable batteries that, that are probably output 5 volt USB, maybe 1 amp, 2.1 amp, 1.5 amp, and such. Yeah. And stuff like that. That range from like there is supposed to be disposable ones, but I was like seeing them on like for the price you're getting, you might as well just get an actual one, right? That you can actually reuse. $5 for a disposable one when you can actually just get a real one. When I say a real one, I mean one that you can actually reuse and recharge. And maybe it's only like 2,500 milliamp hours, right? But more reusable than a single use type one. I'm just like thinking to myself, I don't think I would buy a single use disposable kind of battery bank. I would avoid that anyways. If I had to, that's one thing, all right. But I'm gonna avoid that whenever possible because I just think it's not. Per se sustainable. Coming from an environmental standpoint. What else I was gonna say? Oh yeah, so they can range up like 3,000, 6,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 milliamp hours and stuff like that. And obviously, the bigger the battery bank gets, the heavier it's gonna get. And the size or bulk is gonna increase, so you have to factor that in, especially if you're traveling with it and stuff like that. And another tip right here: make sure you have the cables with them, even spare cable. Right? You might assume, see, I got a battery bank in my vehicle, with the cable, and I use the same cable all the time. Well, it's all good and dandy until that cable, for some reason, you trip over it. Something happens, someone trips over it. You have a dog and just trips over it by accident or whatever, and next thing you know, it's like, it's kind of flaky now, right? Have that backup one, Maybe it does, maybe it's not as long of a cable. Maybe it's not that long. 2 cable that you usually use, and it's only like this short, but at least you'll have something. All right? Because those battery banks and stuff like that aren't very useful without a way to charge them and to output the power out or input in some power in and stuff like that. Because trust me, I learned that lesson too. I learned that lesson the hard way too about something like that, about a battery bank with someone, because I was recharging something. Now this, unfortunately, it was actually a I shouldn't say USB, a Bluetooth thing with a battery bank. Something happened to when I was charging a device with it, and now it's flaky. I could still recharge the battery, Bluetooth headset / battery bank, but the USB out on it is kind of flaky, unfortunately. on the bright side, at least the Bluetooth part's still working, and I can still put power in. So unfortunately, you're probably like, oh, can't you do something about that or something? Yeah, no, because it's sealed. So I would have to crack the case, and I'm not at that point yet. Not that desperate yet. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, coming back to that power and stuff like that. Even something like this wind-up radio and stuff like that has solar on it. Even this takes at least twice as long as using a normal outlet and bright sun on a sunny day. So I did the timing on it, at least for some devices. That was just for a smartphone, a smaller battery smartphone. You know, obviously if you get a bigger device like a tablet or a smartphone that has a bigger battery and such, but also you're trying to charge up a battery bank like that's 5,000, 6,000 milliamp hour one. It's gonna take a lot longer than you think. You know, you don't need a little bit more than just 5 minutes of sun. You know. I'm just gonna see my. All right. 50, 17, 33, and 0. Okay. Yeah, okay. Anyways, just have to double click it through, put it back at the top, and minimize it. Okay. Now I know. Let's see, what else is there? No, I actually don't have one out here with me. You know, first aid kind of things. Now I'm still learning about that stuff, right? You know, still trying to learn my ABCDEs about that kind of stuff. I won't go into great detail. I've been trying to learn a little bit more. You know, I have to learn from experience too. Things happen, right? For anyone that's seen me sprain my wrist, there could be something useful in there. I did a whole live stream the next day about that. You know, I spread that kind of information about some things that I did and stuff like that. I mean, I'm good again. I was lucky. That was painful for what it was. I felt that pain that next day and stuff like that. Because the cold must have numbed it to the point that I didn't notice it until the next day. Next day I was just like, oh, that really hurts. Insert a bunch of 4-letter words in there. Probably with an ing. But yeah, I was just like, oh. And some other things I've done, like roll my shoulder. You know, little things I've done, especially if you're handling with, per se, tools and stuff like that, you know. Luckily enough, I haven't been, per se, injured lately. I've been trying to be careful as much as possible. I mean, but stuff happens, right? Unfortunately, just the way it is. So you gotta be ready for that because that kind of can almost happen at any time. You know, just be ready for it. Be ready for it as much as you can. You know, gauze, beyond some bandages and stuff like that. Gauze, triangle bandage and stuff like that. You know, if you don't know how to use it, then you know, you can have it in with your stuff if you want. But for me right now, I'm not adding stuff I don't know how to use at the moment, because I probably don't have it either. So, unfortunately, I mean, like I said, it's nice to be able to buy your way out of something, but there's something about doing it yourself or DIYing it. But also, you can't DIY everything. Or if you do DIY it, you have to take a lot of time to make it. Let's see, what else? What else? I talked about that, talked about that. Oh, yes. About learning with the stuff, too. Prime example right here. Cordage. You know, how many knots or hitches or stuff do you guys know how to do? You're probably wondering, I'm like, ACR, what's this that you got here? I am pretty sure these are all alpine butterfly knots. So no matter where I pull, it doesn't get tighter or looser or wider. So it has a fixed loop. So another thing that has a fixed loop on it, which I will do right here on the same line. This is something I haven't learned how to do this one-handed yet. I am still trying to, but I do know, what's it called? Bullseye knot, yes. Let's see if I actually did this. Nope. No, see, that's not bullseye. It pays to practice. Sometimes, as much as I think I know how to do something, I just realized I think I need a little bit more practice at it at times. Around there. Nah, see, I'm not doing it right. This is not, see, like I said, no expert. I'm just practicing. It's clearly I need to practice a lot more. Okay. It's clearly I am not deploying this really faster. Let's see if I got this now. I think I got this now. Okay. Now I got that blue line. Right? Fixed loop. Doesn't matter where I pull on the line. It doesn't get smaller or wider. And yes, I'm using pink just because it shows up on camera a lot. Hold on just a sec. Hold on just a sec. Hold on a sec. Yes. I was trying to do some sign language there. And one always seems to interrupt me at times, and I drop the line. Oh, let me go get this here. So bullseye knot. Alpine butterfly knot. No matter where I pull it, it doesn't get any tighter. Hey, I'm pulling this really hard. Well, relatively really hard. Right. Oh, I figure it might as well stretch. Hello, Iron Fire Horse. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Hi. Oh yeah, coming back to this. So I pulled this really tight. Let's see if I can undo this. If I did this right, I should be able to undo the alpine butterfly knot. Okay. Try to stay in frame as long as or as much as I can. I mean, I'm still trying to get better at using that, not using it, but actually making the alpine butterfly knot. I know there is 2 ways to drop the ball on and stuff. But what I'm saying is, I know there's 2 ways to make an alpine butterfly knot, as far as I know. Yeah, I don't think I did this right. Yeah, see. See? Another example right here. Practice, right? See, I'm screwing this up too. Lucky enough, it's not serious. And I did this before. See, now this is why learning about knots and hitches is important, because now this is serious and I really had to use this line. Look how long it's taking me. My deployment of this is so long right now. Wait, good. I thought I did an alpine butterfly knot in there. I thought I did. Or if I did, it must have gotten tied in there. And remember how hard I just, with tension on the line. And see, I'm dropping stuff too. See, unfortunately, I'm not have to actually almost take it all to this. I mean, in the real world, some people would just cut it or not even bother with it, right? I mean, I've gone out camping before. Now this is more of a major thing. A lot more people than you would normally get and stuff like that. And these people left this campsite. I could tell they abandoned it and stuff like that because they were gone for the next, like, their shelter's not even there. The tents are not even there, right? Their vehicles aren't even there. They just left it, you know, bare bones, right? I saw a cordage there. So two things I was thinking. I'm like, first of all, if I want to take this cordage, not just for my sake, you know, for personal sake of having the cordage, right? I'm saying that I can come back to our camp and say, oh, well, look what I found, right? It's because stuff like that shouldn't be wasted, right? You know, especially when you go camping. I mean, as I work on this, yeah. I really see. I think I got this now. But basically, it reminds me of the story, which I said I was going to be sharing. See, I got that knot out now. But basically, I don't even know what kind of knot's hard. Hold on a sec. Just give me a second. Well, thank you for blinking, Iron Fire Horse. And I just deployed. Oh no, one sec. There it is. Sorry about that. I had to deal with something. You know how it goes when you go live, right? Anything can happen, so. Well, that's an FYI. Yeah, see, some of these. See, this is why I have to get better at. Let's see if I can undo this one. I almost feel like I didn't do these alpine butterfly knots correctly. It's not supposed to be, per se, this hard to undo them. As far as I know. I mean, I'm just learning about this stuff, like I said. You know. You know, I admit I didn't know. What's a hitch? You know, and stuff like that. But I realized within time how useful this kind of stuff can be. Not sure why I'm still frozen. Well, the audio should still be coming through, so I am slowly working on these, undoing these alpine butterfly knots in here. Am I really frozen? Just because. Oh, I mean, the audio is still going, so I am still transmitting, so. It's probably because I'm running too much in the background. It must be. I must be. I need to tone it back, I guess. Let me just get that off the screen for a moment here. And I'll just leave everything on the screen. Yeah, it must be. That must be it. Appreciate the feedback. Appreciate the feedback, like I said. So yeah, basically. You're making hard coffee? Okay, okay. I'll probably have some coffee too, why not? Right? Why not, eh? I am still frozen, anyway. I usually don't have issues with stuff. You know what? I'm gonna tone this. Just gonna disable my stuff here real quick here. Not sure why my CPU usage is so high. That's not wrong. It really is doesn't get this high. I don't think I increased my bitrate. Give me one on the screen if you can still hear me at least. I'll just temporarily disable this. I'll put up one of my airfings out here. I'll put my loop in here, so basically it just loops. So I'll just temporarily put this up on the screen until I see something. I usually don't have issues with the bandwidth, so I do apologize in advance, but I guess this is why it's a live stream. Right? Anything can happen. So hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't think my audio was so, my video was so bad. So I do apologize about the buffering. Well, at least you can hear me. So I don't know why my video portion's frozen on this. It's quite weird. Because my encoder's overloaded too. But I don't know. I don't think I could. Can I actually change this right now? I'm gonna try a few things. I'm not sure if it'll actually help, to be honest. And I don't even know. I do have that window open, so yeah. Not sure why I am frozen in on, yeah. Because I could tell. Oh, okay, it's starting to come back. At least I got good audio. Right, at least I got good audio. I guess I can't really show the cordage so much because you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'll just kind of put that in the back pocket back again. You'll have to wait for that, I guess. I've shown this before and stuff like that. It's fun to elaborate a little bit more on it and stuff like that. But basically, I was watching this video about doing a taut line hitch, and I just kind of did it too. They were doing, in their video, they were showing it with a carabiner and stuff like that. I'm like, look, I have the same color carabiner. I didn't use the same color line, but close enough. It's just doing it with them. Because I have realized. Oh, okay. See, I changed a few things. I changed it to processing on the OBS side to ultra fast. Slowly. You might hear an echo. Well, hopefully you guys can. Yeah, see. I raised the volume on that. I want to see here if I come back. It's probably because I set it up like that. I actually have the camera back on right now, so we're gonna see if I can pull back from this still, or at least gain back from this. See how long it takes before I see myself on the preview side. And still waiting. Still waiting. Well, I undo this top line hitch. But yeah, this top line hitch, I mean, I've realized with cordage, it's just like with a lot of things, it's just like, once I start to learn more about it, it just became more apparent that I can combine things together and stuff like that. If that makes any sense. I mean, like, the top line hitch, you're like, well, what can you do with it? Well, I used it to help me make a bracelet without a buckle or a snap. With only cordage. Hey, it was just something I just tried. I was just like, oh, that was easy. Couple basic, I wouldn't say some knots and hitches, some braiding, and I got something there. I'll put this back. I guess I'll just put it back in my bag. Yeah, I'm still waiting for. See, I do have the video on. I do have the video on. I'm just waiting for it because I didn't think I had so much of a buffer, not a buffer, but like yeah, I do have the live chat and the live chat replay open. Yes. In terms of my interaction time, or how real time my interaction time is. You might be hearing me still without seeing it. I do have the video portion on. I have to bring back up the side chat. Oh, listen still. Yeah, now you're seeing it. Yeah, see, but the thing is, I have a video portion back on the screen. Which is funny, because I'm still... Well, I guess this is why I do live streaming at various times. I guess this is probably one of my first times I've actually had major hiccups on the stream. Oh, that's okay. It'll prepare me for things that like this happen again, and hopefully I can fine tune the setting. Yeah, see now I see it. It's about time. You might hear an echo. Gain bathroom. Yeah. See how long it takes before I see myself on. Yeah. How long was that? I know I'm watching this live, right? Yeah. Well, I guess I'm back. So yes, I keep forgetting my the time difference between what I'm saying and what I see. So yes, I appreciate the feedback, Iron Fire Horse. So yeah, see, I undid this. And like I was saying about the cordage, because I guess my audio was still good about that story I was talking about. I found like 20 feet of cordage, usable cordage too. It looked new, like the cordage, like regardless of what it is, right? I was just like thinking to myself, I'm like, well, two things is gonna happen. Someone else is gonna take it, which is fine with me, or it's gonna get trashed. I'm just like, no. That's not sustainable anyways. Alright? Cordage like this, it was orange and red. I mean, I don't think I have that band on me, but I was just like red, orange type of cordage, and there was some other cordage and stuff like that. I mean, there was so much cordage from these people's campsite. They left. They left. Like I said, they left. They were gone for like a good hour at least. No vehicles, no tents, no. Right. Even the fire pit was like cold. And went over there, right? And they're like, yeah, these guys abandoned it. It's gone. It's done, right? So I'm just like looking at like there's like cordage tied to sticks and stuff like that, parts of some frame structure or whatever, right? It's torn down per se, right? A lot of hard knots in there and stuff like that. Just like, but I took the time to undo those knots. And besides, I had an awl with me and stuff like that. So I had some way to hook in and pull the knot out. I'm just like, they must have been trying to leave quickly or whatever, right? And stuff like that. I was just looking, I'm just like walking back into camp. I was like, hey, CR, hey, what's up, man? What's in your hand? Oh, and all this cordage is in my hand, and it's just like that. And I come back again, and they're like, where are you getting this stuff? I don't know. People have left it. Might as well use it. Why? I mean, because if we don't use it, the cleanup crew is just gonna clean it up. Probably toss it, right? If they don't reuse it themselves. So I'm just like, better to reuse it than have it go into trash. Per se, fill up the landfill more and stuff like that, right? Oh, okay. Okay, little urban prepper. But I was just saying to myself, I was just like, because I thought, because we were still staying for another day or two at least, and I was just like, oh, hey guys, guess what? I found all this cordage we can use. Might as well string up some more stuff, right? Because we were actually stringing up shade because it was gonna be hot out in the low 90s, 30 Celsius plus, right? So this is like we were stringing up extra shade for everyone, right? We were doing it in the morning and stuff like that. It was probably around 1 or 2 by that time. And it was like, yeah, they left, and I was just like, oh wait, actually I do have it. I forgot. Like this one right here. This is actually the same one that I found on that camp out. And look at that. From a useless state, somewhere out there, not helping anyone out, not helping the environment out or anything like that, to a more useful state, where I recovered it and stuff like it. And I made a bracelet out of it. Made a bracelet. Yes. A bracelet that has no connectors. No buckle, no hook, or something like that. Just straight cordage. So, figure I'd share that story too, because, this is what I keep my eyes out. Spatial awareness and stuff like that. See what's out there. Sometimes people abandon stuff. And sometimes people actually abandon stuff that's still useful. For whatever the reason is, because they could leave quick or whatever, right? I mean, I'm not saying my camp setups are like perfect and ran perfectly and all that stuff. There's hiccups and stuff like that. But like, as I started to learn about the knots and hitches and stuff like that, starting to make these different kind of knots, hitches, like this top line hitch, which I'm just gonna do real quick here. Put the loops together so they're side by side. Alright. Let me tighten that up a little bit here. Press it up. Yeah. Becomes harder to tighten. You get the idea. I can still pull it. This is not a fixed loop. Top line hitch is not a fixed loop. Because it will slide. Especially if the weight's heavy enough. Or if the tension. It can hold a little bit of tension and stuff like that. But you can still move it if you really do try. Right? If I put a weight to this, it would go. Unlike something like an alpine butterfly knot or bowline knot. That's a fixed loop. That won't Well, it's not supposed to get the loop's not supposed to get any bigger or smaller. Alright. Useful for situations. For example, I'll come back to what I talked about earlier in the stream about what's going on out in the world right now. I talked about the, per se, fires and the drought and stuff like that. I'm not talking about the water and the flooding, right? Just learning something as learning a skill, the knowledge of making a bowline knot, which I'm actually going to attempt to do again. Actually, you know what? Let's make it longer. Let's put that loop in there. Let's see if I can do this on one try. I don't use this that often, but I have used it. Let's see if I can do this for it. Oh yeah, see? Fixed loop. Doesn't matter where I pull on the line, it doesn't get any tighter or smaller. This is a fixed loop. So, for example, in a flood situation, and I have seen videos on this and stuff like that, and current media reports and all that stuff, you can find a lot of. It's flooding out in what? Europe and Asia right now. So, here's a. Alright. Speak of survival. Hey, second star. How are you doing, Matt? Hi. What is up? What up? Fist bump. Oh yeah, so yeah, see? Taut line hinge. Bowline hinge. Not. So let's just pretend. I don't even know what I can be on. Well, let's just pretend running in is all the way at shore, whatever. I could be like, in the water. This doesn't get smaller or whatever, so it's not gonna restrict, right? If you used like a simple Canadian jam at arbor knot or even a taut line hitch, it would get smaller, or it could get smaller, which is not good. But this is a fixed loop, so I can still hold on to it. All right, I get to shore. They pull me to shore. Thanks, God, for pulling me to shore. I didn't realize what's going on. I can easily just take this off, and my CR just fell off. That's okay. I got that covered, right? And I can take this off, right? And they could be using this again, right? So when you grab onto it, because your hands are gonna be wet in the water, right? You might slip out of your hand, right? Their water can have a lubrication type of effect, especially, that's where if you're in the water for long periods of time, you get pruning on your fingers and your feet, right? Something you might see when you're take a long shower or in the swimming pool, in the sauna, stuff like that for long periods of time. Right. But what I was gonna say was, because it's got a fixed loop, they can grab onto it with your hand and try to get into it, right? Instead of just having a line that's just like throwing out the line like this, this could easily slip out. This, on the hand, they might be able to get a couple of fingers on it and stuff like that, get a hold of that fixed loop in the bowline. So something I'm trying to remember, and remember a lot more, because it can be useful. And my CR fell off. Okay. Yeah, whatever. It's kind of crooked with a CR. That's okay, right? Exactly, second star. Yeah. There is no perfect survival bag for every situation. You need to adapt it. There is core things to have, I would say. I would say there is core things. The food and the water. Probably shelter too. Some cordage wouldn't help, it wouldn't hurt, right? Stuff like that. But I think always remembering the more important thing is, in terms of like, on top of that is the mind and body and skills you can do with stuff like that. And knowing how to use the equipment, alright? I've never made a bowline knot in a piece of rope before, or a piece of thick cordage like this much. But at least I can try, right? Now, that'd be another thing too, right? It's one thing, oh yeah, I'm making this bowline knot right here, in a nice calm environment, not doing much, I'm not sweating, it's not hot, I'm not stressed out about there's not like water up to my chest or whatever, right? Imagine trying to do this in that kind of situation. Oh, alright. You know? Because you had to. Alright. You know, props to people that help people out like that. You know? They're really, you know, kind of restore your faith in humanity. Yes. Don't text and drive. I figure I throw this in. Stuff like that. A couple of stories and stuff like that. And kind of related to more current events and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm gonna share stories and things. There's gonna be like I said, there's gonna be a lot of prepping and preparedness type of chat in this. Well, like I've said, I'm no expert in this. No guru in this. Just learning. You know? Learning. You know? Sometimes you gotta fail to learn. And learn to not do it again. And learn so you don't do it again. If that makes any sense. Take care, Iron Fire Horse. How long have I been going for? Okay. Has it been that long already? I did not realize. Did I actually go that long already? Wow. I really. 2 hours went by a lot faster than I thought. I mean, obviously I got slight delayed, buffered issues. Hopefully the audio part was at least still in there, so at least you can hear me like a podcast or an audio stream. So I'm hoping though. But hey, I'm doing it this live, so what do you expect? You know, maybe I mean for fun, I'll be like. I have no idea what I just played. I'm still trying to learn how to play this. I don't know. Maybe I should watch some tutorials on playing a harmonica. Maybe. Probably eat my apple right away too. I'm just gonna take this off for a moment here. But just a second. Have a sip of my coffee here. So yes. So those are just examples of things, right? And the thing is, make progress in your preparedness. I mean, make progress in anything in life, right? Make positive progress forward, right? What's that old saying or cliche saying? Make progress, not perfection, right? You know, this preparedness stuff doesn't just automatically. Next day, you're all the way over there, up here, on a level or on a scale or a level. Now, sometimes you gotta inch your way up. You know, climb up the ladder. You know, you might make mistakes, slip, go back. You know, slide down per se, like, you know, that kind of thing. You know, like that game with a ladder and something sizzling. Never mind, you know what I mean, right? And make progress for it. I mean, and sometimes some of the stuff might take a little bit longer to learn. The knots, hitches. I mean, I remember when I was trying to learn something, I was just like, it took me a while. I'm just like, but afterwards, I'm just like, oh, I'm glad I learned this. I guess it was a little bit easier than I thought. You know, sometimes you just have to overcome that hurdle in the first place, then you can start getting somewhere in it. make positive progress. It's just like gardening, all right? I'll get back to the food part again, all right? Gardening, maybe something doesn't survive, maybe whatever, right? But remember, trying to make positive progress, right? I lost a tomato plant earlier this year. Well, I could others growing. So, still half full, not half empty, depending how you look at it. I'm more half full kind of guy. I try to be, right? More optimistic. Yeah. Instead of thinking of half empty, more half full. I kind of prefer it like that too. I generally try to say it like that. Sometimes the E words come out and I'm like, oh, I meant half full, not half empty. That's the same thing, CR. Maybe. But then the way you say it and how you perceive it is different. So I try to say half full. Or 3/4 full or quarter full. Instead of saying, it's 3/4 empty or half empty or quarter empty. Right. Maybe it's just because people talk about that in terms of gas and stuff like that, right? Speak gas. Yes. I do have one. I think this would have been fairly clear that I do have a jerry can right here. I'm gonna put this back. Okay. I'll make sure it's stored out here, away from, any people and stuff like that. In actual containers meant for storing gasoline, right? I'm not using some paper plastic bag. No. Because that's not done cut it, right? Yeah. For people that don't know about that or seen the videos on that or seen the images on that, yeah. Yeah. I don't have that much. I got enough. Hopefully within time it'll grow. Hopefully. But I do what I can. Because I guess when you start branching out away a little bit more just from the shelter, water, and food part, there's our aspects like the power and stuff like that, fuels and stuff like that, transportation, So I'm trying to make sure I'm more diversified and stuff like that. At least I know a little bit about it than none at all, or learning so much of this, but forgetting about this part of it. Yeah, exactly. Second star. Yeah. People don't understand that most of our survival. You mean skills? You forgot the S in there. are based only on scavenging and mental endurance. Because physical items can run out, break, damage, or you simply don't have access to it. I mean, what's that show? If it was a real survival story, well, regardless of the show name, a real survival story, I think I mentioned this before, because I use this, and it did happen. Our ATV, right? All-terrain type of vehicle, four-wheeler and stuff like that. People do that. Quad and stuff like that. He's got the gear on the back. He's riding. Some sort of slip, turn, or whatever. Slips down the hill and starts rolling and rolling and rolling. Luckily, it misses him, but it pins him. Alright? For people that are considering or thinking, yeah, hey, CR, I got all this gear, alright? It should be good to go, right? Well, remember, that's if you have access to it. This person, he's literally feet away from his gear. You cannot access to it because he's pinned by his 600-pound ATV, right? So he can't get up, can't move because it's pinning the back of his leg. Let's say at the back of your thigh or whatever, right? So you can't get close enough. Stuff. You have life in this situation, life-saving gear like blankets, food and stuff like that. Containers to boil water, maybe even a water bottle and stuff like that. But you cannot access it because the way that you strapped it onto your ATV, and it's just like if I'm standing, if my door is that same distance away, it's like me trying to reach, and it's just like it's so close. I can see it, almost touch it, but I can't reach, can't get access to it. I remember that story. Seeing the reenactment about that. You can actually watch that online, by the way. But it's a good sobering reminder of that kind of thing, because you may not have access to it, right? It's just like certain little things, right? Now I'm lucky enough that I don't live in an earthquake-prone area. I know it can happen in certain parts of the country because of the mountains and all that stuff, but I just imagine that kind of stuff, right? Remembering, I'm like, how safe is your first aid kit or bag from an earthquake? Is it readily available? I mean, are you actually gonna be able to get it? Hopefully you'll be able to get to it, right? Because it might provide you some equipment geared to help you out, and kind of, enhance the skill that, well, I shouldn't say enhance, but complement the skills and knowledge and experience that you do have at that time. I think I can actually put this stuff back on the screen now. So I'm just gonna put this stuff back on the screen, and hopefully I don't buffer out too much. Okay. No, yeah, no, I'm still buffering. Alright, I'm not gonna put this stuff back on the screen. Well, I'll just leave the backpack on the screen. Well, you'll have to be more proactive and less reactive. I'll say it like that. So I'll have to. I usually don't have problems with the streams, but it's okay. Alright, just looking out. What else I was gonna say was, oh yeah, so sometimes you'll have to improvise. There's improvising can only go so far, but sometimes you have to, unfortunately. And some other people may have said in the past, gear is nice to have, but what do you do when you don't have access to it? Right? Or don't have it for whatever miscellaneous reason, right? You get washed away, right? Hey, CR, I got this backpack, or whatever, and some sort of flood happens or whatever, right? And you get caught in it, unfortunately, whatever the cause of it is, right? And it washes downstream. Then what? You're gonna start to improvise or use what's still hopefully that's in your pockets, right, and stuff like that. Realizing, yeah, the gear would have been useful, but since you don't have access to it now, because it washed down the water, washed down the river or temporary river or whatever, or sank to the bottom of this water, then what? Have to start figuring it out. Where start looking at everything like the potential of everything, whatever you're seeing, right? Or it's just like where you're like, okay, I see a water bottle with a lid. Well, it's just floating, right? Maybe it's got a little bit of liquid in it still. Okay, well, how I look at it, I'd be like, well, This could be a useful container for me still at this time. It might not have been, the inside might not be contaminated. So if I put fresh, clean water in there, it should still be good. Because river water or flood water hasn't gone into it. And it's just floating by. Something I can reach, hopefully, right? Something like that could, I'm not trying to say a little 500 mil 1 liter bottle is not how you float, but it'll give you a little bit more buoyancy. A little, but maybe you see, I don't know. I mean, I know these floodwaters, you can't see what's in there, right? You're only seeing what's on the top, right? And I'm just using these as an examples for hypothetically speaking. It's probably not gonna be, you're probably not gonna get lucky. And that's another thing, you have to get lucky too. Sometimes it's like when I go scavenging or whatever, sometimes it's all about luck. Timing too, right? Sometimes you're just at that place at the right place at the right time to find it. Where if you came 10 minutes later, it'd be gone because someone else takes it away or the bird picks it up and flies off with it. Whatever it is. I have to. I think I have to take it off that dog back here. Where is it? Alright, I'm buffering it. Well, hopefully the audio is still good. Let me see if the audio is still good. It'll still be good. So, if you're seeing this, I am actually removing the camera side of things because clearly it's not helping. And I'm buffering anyway, so I'm just gonna put this. I have my looper kind of video that I have on right now. It basically just keeps looping still. Just because the thing is, no, I'm not drawing frames. So it's probably because sometimes it's not encoding it as fast or something like that. Or I'm using too much bandwidth, one of the two. So you're just gonna see the CR logo up on the screen for a while until I exit. Oof. Gee, boy, it's windy out. I can hear the sound. It almost startled me for a second there. It was like, what's this? I'm like, oh, good. Oh yeah. Second star, yeah. Yeah, man, bro. I know what you're talking about, man. I know exactly what you're talking about, Pat. The hatchet. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I still remember that. Of all the things I remember when I was younger, that is probably one of the coolest. Wow. I think I remember seeing a short reenactment or video about that. Oh, I'm still trying. It's been so long. Wow. You know that too, hey? Like everyone's in the survival community right now, I guess, or in the prepping community, preparedness community, just people are doing lists and stuff like, or rankings or whatever of stuff. I remember doing that kind of stuff when we were reading the Hatchet in school and stuff like that. We had this list that we put, right, prioritizing this and that, right. I still remember that, right. I'll say a cutting tool was probably at the top. Most people agree and stuff, but thinking back on that, I was just like, man, I wish I knew what I knew now. But sometimes learning takes time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just remembering that kind of thing too. And probably still frozen. Hold on 1 second, people. Give me 1 sec. Oh, thanks, second sir. Yeah, sorry about that. You know, like I said, I'm doing a live stream, so honestly, anything can happen, and I can get interrupted and all this sort of stuff. Priorities in the real world. So, just saying, just saying, just saying. At least the audio's good. Yeah, that's why I put this back on. And I'm still saying, I don't know. I don't know. I could. Yeah, that's why I put my looper back on. I'll take it off for a little bit again. At the moment, you will see me. So yeah, I mean, you know, I'm actually surprised you remember that second story. You know, and we're see, this is why sometimes I will watch reenactments based on true stories and stuff like that. Honestly, details might change and whatever, right? What you see in the video is not quite what they saw and stuff like that. But it reminds you, well, it reminds me at least, when I go walking, hiking, down the trail, camping, all this stuff. You know, down the road in the middle of the winter and biking and all that stuff. That anything can happen. So I remember, yeah, you know, always try to stay calm as much as possible, but adrenaline can, you know, mask pain, stuff like that. Or even cold can mask pain, you know, makes you numb and stuff like that. I try to, you know, and remember that kind of stuff. The lessons learned, to learn the lessons from these people and be like, you know, just as simple as like, you know, let's try not to get lost, especially when it's really hot out, or take an unknown or less used hiking path, right? And realizing, hey, I'm going off the main path here, you know. Let's remember what I'm doing here. I mean, even, you know, unfortunately, since I'm buffering too much, I cannot show the video or sneak peek that in. But I did do a little hiking trip. Nothing major, nothing major. It was probably only more for fun kind of deal, not, you know, some awesome overnighter or something like that. But it's just something really quick. You know, didn't really, there was not much, I wouldn't say planning, but there was not much. Dang it, hold on a second. I'll be right back. So if you're hearing this, and there's gonna be just a quick moment here. Sorry for the delay or the interruption. And I think I'm gonna actually have standby music the next time. Yeah, I think I'm the rare guy. Hold on, folks. I'm very sorry for the delay, everyone. Please forgive me for that. Like I said, I'm live streaming, and you know how things go. Anything can happen while you're on live, and I almost forgot that someone